نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم رسوله النبي الأمين المكين الحنين الكريم رؤوف الرحيم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله تعالى في شان حبيبه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحب وترضى بأن تصلي عليه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Most respected ulama, my respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I saw something this morning which changed the discussion that I was going to give today anyway. And I think it is very, very critical that I discuss this, because what I saw today, sent shivers down my spine. But before I discuss that matter, let us, in paying homage to Sayedina Umar Ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and learning from the example of Umar Ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, deal with the matter that I will be discussing just now, inshallah ta'ala. It is the era of Umar Ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the golden age of Islam. Egypt has been conquered, and the Fatih of Egypt is none other than Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And Umar Ibn al-As, who is the governor of Egypt, is then sent, well, obviously is in Egypt, and he comes there with his family and they reside in Egypt. During that period of time, when Umar Ibn al-As, who was the conqueror of Egypt and now is the governor of Egypt, Umar Ibn al-As' son had a race, right, with horses or camels between himself and a Masri, an Egyptian citizen. And during that race, Umar Ibn al-As' son lost the race. And the Masri, the Egyptian, won the race. In a fit of rage, in anger, Umar Ibn al-As' son, by virtue of the fact that he is the governor's son, in a fit of rage, took a whip, or took an instrument, and he whipped this Masri, this Egyptian, and he said, "Khudha, fa inni ibnul akramin." Take this from me, because I am the son of the honored ones, the noble ones. The Masri was hit blue blind, but the Masri knew Islam, and he knew the justice of Islam. And the Egyptian then went, and he went straight to the court of Umar ibn Khattab in Al-Madinatul Munawwara. In Al-Madinatul Munawwara, Umar ibn Khattab hears the case of this Masri. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala does not wait. He immediately sends a messenger all the way back to Egypt to summon the governor as well as his son. The son committed the crime. The governor, Umar ibn al-As of Egypt, is summoned by Amirul Mu'minin Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu with his son. And the Masri, the Egyptian, is there in the court when the governor of Egypt, the Fatih, the conqueror of Egypt, Umar ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and his son are both brought into the court of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. When the Masri sees these two, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu asks him a question, "Is this the man responsible?" Pointing towards Umar ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu's son. He said, "Yes, this is the man who hit me." Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu takes out a whip, and he tells him, "Take this whip, فَضْرِبْ بِهَا إِبْنِ الْأَكْرَمِينَ." Hit him and extract your revenge from this, the son of the noble ones. And the Masri took the whip and he whacked him the way this youngster had done to him in Egypt. When he was finished, he said, "Amir Mu'min, now I'm happy." Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, "Oh, hold on, Masri, it's not done yet. You finished off with the son. Now extract your revenge against the father." Why? Because this youngster would have not had the guts and the gall to do something like this had it not been by virtue of the fact that he was jumping on his father's strength. So he summons the governor of Egypt, the conqueror of Egypt, the Fatih of Egypt, Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he tells him, now, O Masri, extract your revenge on the father as well. The Masri, knowing the justice of Islam, said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I had a problem with the son, not with the father. So I excuse the father. Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar Ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu was not finished. He turned around and he addressed the governor, the conqueror of Egypt, and he said, Ya Amr, متى تعبدتم الناس وقد ولدتهم أمهاتهم أحرارا. He said, since when have you started enslaving people who were born free? Those words should be written in gold on, in the courts of law in the world, in the Muslim world today. Since when did you start enslaving people and oppressing people and putting people under the thumb of your tyranny when they were born free and the mothers gave birth to them free? Now, I ask you a question. Many of you may be aware of this. If the incident that I saw this morning, which went, by the way, viral on YouTube, right, and viral on the social media networks, wherein you see a couple of youngsters, thugs, gangsters, beating up a young boy. Everyone should know about it, especially the youngsters, right? It's become viral. There's been internet memes about it, and people are now parodying the whole thing. And from the people that I heard about it, I only saw it this morning, but I heard about it 2-3 days ago. From the people that informed me about it, when they were informing me about it, they were laughing about it. It was hilarious for them. It was hilarious for them. And they said, you know, it spawned so many other internet memes. A meme, for those older generation people, a meme is an act or a, or a trend or a style or a culture which is passed on from person to person. So an internet meme is one which is passed on electronically through social media, network, etc. And what happens in this here? You see one youngster with 3 other youngsters there with them, with one thug, strong arm, standing inside there, and they banging this fellow up. They're hitting him all over the place there, using profanities for every second word, right? And you know what the best part was? And when I mean best part, I mean the worst part was, you hear the attitude of this, what's the word? There's a nice word for it. Entitled young men, thugs. You know who I am? Me, I can buy you and your whole family off. My father will buy you and your family off. We are the desperados. You don't know who we are. We rule the area. We've got everyone in our pockets. We can do whatever we want to. We'll blow you people away. F&Bs, profanities like you can't believe. Why? He's standing tall. The word in Urdu for tall is lamba. He's standing tall. On whose strength? Money strength. Money is strength, not family strength, sorry. Money strength. That's all it is. Because you know what? My father has enough money to buy off all the cops. Literally, in this day and age, it's become a trend in the Muslim community. And we've returned, unfortunately, to the inglorious days of Jahiliyyah, wherein these youngsters can stand there, point guns, culpable homicide, point guns at them. You see it in the video. He's pointing guns at them. Why? Oh, you dared to call my girlfriend up. She's my fiance. Do you know who this guy is? You know who that guy is there? I know all the gangsters in town. They all know who I am. I'll take away your Jan. I'll take away your life because I'm a Janu. Oh, what is this? And you know the biggest part is, people are enjoying it. It's gone viral. Yes, it's a virus. It's a virus of what? Affluenza. You know, when people are afflicted by this symptoms of the illness of the love of wealth, where the nasha, the intoxication of wealth goes to their head and messes with their brains and makes them feel and believe that they can do anything, not because of what they've achieved, because of what their fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers achieved, and because of the little bit of the money that they got in the bank there. So they can stand up there and make claims and do whatever they want to do and get away literally with murder. And you know the biggest joke is, and what is the biggest tragedy? People are treating this as a joke. People are following this. You know, they're getting updates all the time. Wallahi, the people who are doing this, you are part and parcel of this crime. Because instead of condemning it, from what I heard, it came out 2 weeks ago. I didn't hear one squeak about it until someone brought it to my attention now, 2-3 days ago. What happened to the ulama in India, in those areas in Pretoria? What happened to them? Why? What's the story today? You see, the issue is, it's one of the signs of the day of Qiyamah. The Prophet ﷺ, in a lengthy hadith of Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala, who's speaking about this, he spoke about the disruption of the social order. And you know what he said? He said, وَسَعَدَ الْقَبِيلَةَ فَاسِقُهُمْ. The leader of a tribe, of a nation, of a group of people. He's from this gaon and that gaon. He's from Kokkan, he's from Jodia, he's from Porbandar, he's from Kathor, he's from Tarkeshwar, he's from Irbil. Sadatul Qabila Fasiquha. The leader of a tribe will be who? The worst amongst them. The biggest sinner amongst them. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, وَكَانَ زَعِيمُ الْقَوْمِ أَرْزَلُهُم. And the worst and the lowliest of the people will become their leaders. And the third one is a very critical one. And he said, وَأُكْرِمَ الرَّجُلُ. And a person will be honored and will be shown respect بِمَخَافَةِ شَرِّهِ, by virtue of the fear you have as to what he can do to you. So you say, hey, sorry, forgive me. No, G, mota. Why? Because you know what he can do to you. Either he'll do violently, or he'll use his money, or he'll withhold his money. So what happens? No, out of fear of this, can't talk about it. You know why? It runs too close to the jugular. It cuts too close home. You're in a fear of offending people. Why are you fearing offending people? لا طاعة في المخلوق في معصية الخالق. There's no fear of people when people are openly disobeying the Khaliq, the Creator. And if you're fearful, because you know what, he'll cut off his donation. That's why the Maulana won't speak, can't say anything. You know what they do? Man, take that donation and throw it into the fire of hell. And while you're at it, if you're fearful of that, throw yourself inside from now. وَلَا يَخَافُونَ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ. What is this? What is this? Don't go too far. We saw this video. I saw it after Ramadan opposite the Masjid. I'll blow kneecaps off. I'll blow kneecaps off. On what basis? Oh, itna gussa aa gaya. Anger. That you point a gun to people. Is this what it has reached in our community? And people laugh about it. People joke about it. People turn into, they're sending all these fancy pictures there with, who is this fellow's sister and brother-in-law, and who is this one here? And what is this? What is this? Wallahi, it makes me quiver. And the biggest joke is? The biggest joke is that amongst the community itself, they are taking as if, laugh it up. You can see it. We got the power. The power to do what? The power to do what? The power to harm others. The power to belittle others. The power to stand up on those dollars and those rands that you may have earned, which is very dubious in terms of how you earned it. And forgetting that you're going to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We've resorted to jahiliyyah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about this. And he said, you know what? If a person resorts back to that fact that I am so-and-so, son of so-and-so. I come from this family and I am from that family there. And he goes back to that attitude of the jahiliyyah. Then you know what the Prophet ﷺ said to show his abhorrence to it there. If a man behaves like that and boasts like that by virtue of his ancestry, I am the son of so-and-so, the son of so-and-so, I belong to this family there. Then the Prophet ﷺ showing his abhorrence to it there. He said, let that man who behaves like that lie the ear of jahiliyyah. That's how abhorrent it was to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. What happened to inna akramakum indallahi atqakum? Look at the example of Umar Ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Wallah, if this video had been brought before Umar Ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu for a decision, what do you think Umar Ibn Khattab would have done? What do you think Umar? There's Umar Ibn Khattab. He brought the governor of Egypt. The governor of Egypt, and he said, whoop him as well. Have we gone so far away from the justice of Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that we fear people because of the harm they could cause you financially or physically or whatever the case may be. Because of that, and we're going to stop talking about these things? And the community, there's no hue and cry in the community that this has become a major disease. It's something, no, just ignore it, it's fine. You know why? So-and-so is involved. So-and-so is, we have business contacts with them. Oh, no, we have financial, investments with them. Oh, no, we do. Oh, he's part of our gaon. Or whatever the reason may be. The Prophet asked, what is asabiyya? Communal spirit. The Prophet gave a negative distinction of that. He said, when you support your people in wrong, in oppression, in dhulm, that is asabiyya. Because otherwise there is nothing else in Islam. There is none of the tribal spirit and so on in Islam there. But if you see that there, then you must know you've reverted to the Jahiliyyah period. The period of ignorance. And is this what we are coming down to? Is this what we are coming down to? Listen to those words. I'm sure most of you have heard it, or seen it, or heard about it. But no one does anything about it there. They'll carry on living their lives. And they'll think, well, it's fine. You know what, I said it in the morning. And they'll justify it with 100 other ways. And no one will talk about it. Why? Sweep it under the carpet. Why? Because affluent people are involved. That's the problem. That's the problem. This is where our justice, moral, ethical justice falters. Because you know why? We look at people differently in terms of status, social status, socio-economic status. And what is the Quranic directive? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina bil qisti shuhada'a lillah. Stand up firmly for justice as witnesses unto Allah. Walau ala anfusikum. Even if it be against yourself. In yakun ghaniya walau ala anfusikum awil walidaini wal aqrabin. Or your parents, or your close family member. In yakun ghaniyan aw fakhira. Why did Allah use that example? Whether they're wealthy or whether they're poor. Fallahu awla bihima. Allah is the master of all and the protector of all. What happened to that concept of justice in our community? These are things that we should be embarrassed about. For those people who've been following it, it's openly an example of ghibah. Hearing this, what is this? Man, it shocked me to the core this morning. And then someone sent me those emails, of all the internet memes that have been coming about there, right? And people take it as a joke. People have the time to invent these things. Why? And you know what happens? When people laugh, there's a statement of the scholars, they say that the thing which is the worst is that which makes people laugh. We'll talk about the most disgusting of things there, and somehow or the other it brings a smile on people's face. You must realize that's one of the worst things that is taking place. How many of us saw it and said, condemned? No, man. Get rid of this. Stop it. I've had people there who are sending every day waiting for an update now. When is the next? It shows that our community is becoming diseased by this. These are things that we need to touch on and we need to start waking up about. And we need to voice our opposition to it. And وَلَا يَخَافُونَ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ. And parents need to be put in their places. Especially those parents who already have affluence and influence, to teach their children humility. To teach their children humility. The problem is that we've come up in a generation wherein, entitled kids. Father is already a director of a company. So before he worked and learned the value of a hard day's work, he's put into a position of a director. So what happens? He constantly grows up with that attitude of, I'm a Lani, I'm the Lani, I'm the boss. I had a father come to me many years ago. And he was sitting with my father, and you should know my father's style by now. He said, Malana, make dua, man. I just bought my son a brand new BMW. My father picked up his hands, typically in a sarcastic style, and said, Ya Allah, safeguard this child and protect this child in this moving janazah. That's what it is. You're giving a child an M3 at the age of 18. What else is it going to be besides a moving janazah? So man said, what are you talking about, Maulana? You know what? I worked so hard in my life. This was his justification. I worked so hard in my life. I underwent so many difficulties. I don't want my child to undergo those difficulties that I underwent. Therefore, I'm making it easy for him. So my father stopped him. He made the biggest mistake. My father said, oh, okay, tell me something. What happened? No, I used to walk to school. Oh, I see. I used to work for pocket money on weekend. And he gave all, So my father said, did that build your character? Did it develop your spirit? Did it make you a better person? Gee. So my father asked him, do you not want to contribute those same qualities to your child? You see, when we start thinking differently, and we don't think from an Islamic perspective, that's when we lose sight. That's when we lose sight. Right? Allah give us the tawfiq and hidayah. Wake up. Wake up. Understand that if you've got this wealth now, Allah can take it away in an instant. Allah can take it away in an instant. And all that wealth, that which you had so much of gammon and arrogance about, wallahi, I see people in this masjid who in the 70s and 80s were flying, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, Allah have mercy on them, they lost everything. Those people, when they walk into the masjid, people don't look at them today. People don't look at them today. And you know what's the other hypocrisy in our community? When we see people who are high flyers and flying a bit too high. When you see people who are very high flyers and everyone knows that they're flying high on somebody else's money, everyone is, oh, Hazrat, Hazrat. The moment he or she gets caught, then all of a sudden everyone says, astaghfirullah. Allah give us tawfiq and hidayah. Okay, very quickly, I was supposed to discuss another discussion, which inshallah I'll discuss maybe at another occasion, right? But just one point I want to put across. It was brought to my attention during the course of this week as well, right? In terms of Diwali, the Hindus are celebrating Diwali in 3 or 4 days' time, whatever it is, right? In terms of our interaction with people of other faiths, right? These are from Fatawa Hindiya and so many other books of fiqh and so on there, okay? Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanwi also in his Imdadul Fatawa, he's mentioned this as well. He said that in terms of greeting people and wishing people Happy Diwali, Happy Christmas, right? As long as there's no ta'zeem and reverence for the occasion, and it is purely a social custom, you know, like a customary greeting. Really, when someone greets you good morning, do they really wish you a good morning? Good morning. Really, I haven't heard anyone saying bad morning or bad night. Right? It's purely a social custom, number one. So if someone wishes you like that day, as a courtesy to the fellow human being and as a respect to the fellow human being in the terms of you greet them. Don't stand there and show this arrogance which is not in Islam. I don't give. Number one. Number two, Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanwi even went one step further and said, in fact, you can even give and you can receive gifts as long as there's no ta'zeem and honoring that certain festival which you have in your heart, because, you know, purely it's a custom thing, it's a courtesy that you are paying to the person there. Right? Because there are some instances when you will have a neighbor who's an African and he did one, you know, he did one akika, you know, or they did one of those lobola things there, and he brought a plate of food to you. Are you going to tell him, no, sorry, my religion doesn't? You're going to create offense. You're going to create offense. Accept it graciously. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Right? After that, if you want to give it, by all means, if you have doubt about it there, right? Abstain. Give it away. But don't create offense. Don't offend people. Lots of Hindus got an email, received an email, when we told them, don't sell this, don't sell that, don't sell this. How would we like it? How would we like it if a Muslim went into a shop and he went to buy a knife for Eid al-Adha, right? And the vegan person behind the counter says, I'm sorry, I can't sell you this knife here because I know you're going to be using it for your sacrifice, right? And it's against my principles. Sorry, goodbye. Muslims will jump. If you went into a shop and you said, no, I'm going to buy some Eid clothes. No, I'm sorry, I can't sell you the stuff in my shop because, you know why, you're celebrating a festival which we non-Muslims and secularists and atheists don't believe in. Therefore, I can't sell you these goods. Would we like it? No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. And we shouldn't. So likewise, treat a fellow human being in a similar manner. You can't tell a non-Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever it is, I'm sorry, you're buying this olive oil here for what? Oh, for your Diwali lamps. No, sorry, I can't sell it to you. It goes against the whole grain and ethics of Islam. Please, remember these things here. Fatawa Hindiya, right? Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanwi, Imdadul Fatawa and so on there. No one, I don't think anyone in the Muslim community with heartfelt, deep down says, you know what, I revere these. But it's a common courtesy. It's a social custom, and we leave it at that. But don't create offense. Don't create offense. In fact, the scholars have spoke about Nowruz, right? It's a Persian New Year, right? As well as the celebrations for the West festivals of winter and so on. We've spoken about all of these things here, right? The Prophet ﷺ himself, right, accepted gifts from non-Muslims, knowing full well that the person's intention was not in any way to dilute his attitude in terms of politics or whatever it is. He would accept that gift. If he knew it was done in good spirit, he would accept the gift. This is how we need to interact. Right? We need to be on that balance level. And Allah give us the tawfiq to realize this balance and maintain this balance, inshallah ta'ala. Don't go out of your way. We don't. I don't need to tell you these things. But maintain that balance, inshallah ta'ala.
We are the Muslim Ummah.
Alhamdulillah, 1 in 5 people in the world is a Muslim. But have we considered that 4 out of 5 people may die without Islam? 4 out of 5 may never get the chance to read the glorious Holy Quran. Become a lifetime partner with the Islamic Propagation Center International Dawah Quran Project and help bring real solutions to the 4 out of 5 people searching for answers. By sponsoring a Holy Quran, you give the gift of life, real life. IPCI, Dawah Quran Project. It's time to get involved.
Call IPCI now. IPCI, encircling the globe with the message of Islam.